Now, Christy, he's one of the guys that does not remember being a child. When I was a child, I never quite understood the adults that did things against children. And I never understood why they don't remember that they were childs as well. So Christy is one of those guys. He's doing something against children in school. Basically, he's using technology for the parents to gain visibility inside students' grades. Whoa. And presence and absence in school, right? Something like this. Now, Christy, why are you doing this? Well, did something happen in your childhood?
Not really, Andrei.
Not really.
Not really.
This is really bad. I do not agree. Just joking. Now, tell us about your app. How are you using, programmable telecom in your application?
Well, I would love to start with presenting the team that work on this project. So
your main focus is on the people?
Yes. I would like to speak a bit of the team. So
he's a future CIO.
Yes. So the name of the team is actually pretty representative. I called it Shukar Code.
All right.
And I would like to tell the audience a bit of me and a bit of my childhood, as it actually makes sense for the project. So I'm last year at Cybernetics, and I work part-time as a developer for Innovasis, a company in Germany, and I'm working with ERP systems. And now getting to the scenario that you already made a little introduction. Yep, this app is about school.
It's about school.
A dark place where most of us don't want to go back.
You're making it even darker now.
I'm making it even darker. So everybody, each of us was a student at a point. And as students, as pupils, we had these stats. We were pretty fast in terms of dexterity, and in strength we had cute hands. And so as constitution, I don't know, if you got punched, I think you're knock off. But as intelligence wise, we knew our ways. We know how to lie, how to change from a 6 to make it an 8, or we knew when the parents weren't home so we can skip classes. But as wisdom, as on how this will affect us, we didn't had too many information. But as charisma, well, we were quite good. Okay. And next, some of you, well, not me, but some of you...
You shaved your beard for that picture.
Some of you became parents. So I know from my parents that they were fighters. They were struggling. They were hard working. As strength, they are better than kids. As dexterity, they are a bit slower, so they cannot catch kids as fast. But they are more resilient. They have a better intelligence and wisdom, and well, a lower charisma than the kids. People tend to love
depending
more
from
the
family
kids.
to family, right?
Yeah, depending. Yeah, and as skills, parents usually are workaholics, and from time to time they, how I said, they work, drink, and fight to stay in shape and to be able to understand kids. And yeah, I think this applies for most of the kids. So
something did happen there. So.
There's the third character implied in our scenario. So is the teacher. The teacher is well, he has some pretty cool stats. As well, I took in consideration a person that is actually very keen on his subject, and he's struggling with his students to really focus and to love their things. And it happens in high schools that there are students from the primary school that attend those classes, and they have the habitude of skipping classes or changing grades from previous years, and they cannot reshape those persons, or it's actually harder from that. So I'll come up with some facts regarding this scenario. The main idea was that more or less everybody has a connection to the internet and has access to many tools regarding grades and scholar things, but there is a small part, well, not quite a small percentage looking at the numbers, but 4 billion.
10% not using the internet.
Well, yeah, 4 billion people not having internet access. I think it's not
all over the world.
Yeah, all over the world. I think it's still a nice market to actually focus.
But maybe they are not the same, that are not attending school as well.
Well, who knows? Yeah, a percentage of them, maybe. So this idea actually targets them, the persons that don't have the internet access and want to actually.
But have kids in school.
Yeah, but have.
So
kids
this is
in
your
school.
target, right?
Yes, exactly. So I come up with this solution. We make a new app available in your school this year. Well, we should make
There's another app coming in your
Yeah,
school. So there are
two
two apps.
So
Grades 911.
Grades 911. Well, it already sounds like an emergency, and it's the nightmare of the kids. So let's see a bit the flow.
The flow of the nightmare.
The flow of the nightmare. Let's say that you're a parent and you don't have an internet connection, but your school has this service available and implemented. Basically, parents will make a call to a number that is provided by the teacher who implemented this application. If the number is in the database, then you'll receive a message. Press dial 1 for grades or press dial 2 for attendance.
So basically you're doing authentication based on the caller ID.
Exactly.
Now the hackers in the room might ask you, how do you protect yourself from caller ID spoofing?
Well, I think if you don't actually have internet access, I don't think it's the main issue that your main concern.
So there's not too many hackers in your target audience, right? So to put it.
Yeah. So after you require this data, there is a jQuery that seeks it, and if data is available, he will send it via a WAV message.
A pre-recorded message,
Yeah,
or a generated one?
No, a generated.
So you have text-to-speech in the application?
Yes, it's
right.
text-to-speech. Okay, and...
Do you also support the Romanian language? Do they support Romanian language?
No, they only...
Not for the moment?
Not for the moment.
Okay.
So, if you actually need more data, you require more data, it will generate a loop and you can again press 1.
It's some kind of IVR that asks you
Exactly.
want to get the grades 1, 2, 3, something like that.
Yes,
right.
indeed. Okay, and after that, the call ends.
So you have an external service calling from your app, which is the electronic system of the school that keeps the grades in the database, something like this?
Yes.
And you call it via an API, right?
Exactly. So we'll see it next when we see the code, the metrics. I've started presenting it with the database, as I thought that a simple implementation would make sense, as I think that those countries that, those persons who don't have internet, also their schools might have problems, and it's also a problem regarding the storage. So I think this is like maybe the small viable solution that I can provide them.
In case they don't have any kind of system.
Exactly.
If they have, then you have to interconnect with them via some common.
Yes.
Right.
And the next part is the graphic interface. Well, a part of the graphic interface.
So the Nightmare has a graphical user interface.
Yes, for the teachers, this is a view for a teacher where he can see what grades he actually gave those students in that year, in that semester. And those grades that are recorded here will be in the WAV recorded message. Well, not recorded, from the text-to-speech message.
Now, Parisa seems to be my profile, so I'm very glad that in my time there wasn't any technology and guys like you doing this stuff.
Parisa is actually a pretty cool name.
10 absence and F grade.
Yeah. Well, she
and this is for French, right?
Yeah, this is for French. You can select there the subject that you would like, but French I think is the worst nightmare of all of us.
It's the nightmare of the nightmares.
Yeah, the nightmare of nightmares. And in view, the other one, the first one, you can also select edit or delete or. Okay. So next part are some parts of code which I have implemented those days regarding this project. So basically, the first script calls the second one. The first one is the one where I'm actually telling the user for grades press 1, for second press 2, for attendance. Well, it should
for
have
grades or attendance, right?
Yeah. And then the second one tells only the grades.
This is the IVR structure. Right?
Yes. Okay. And then I have also the vision for the product. So business-wise, I would like to first target the American market, as the API supports English, and after
You're referring about text-to-speech API.
Yes.
Right.
And after other languages will be implemented, I'm thinking to use that to extend it and also use the money that were already been made. And I was thinking that it would make sense to create an year subscription in case, well, schools don't like anymore the app or another solution was provided. Okay, that's it. But in case they still like it and I still get financed, I can do updates. I can think to expand even more, to add new features.
I think you should invest a lot of security. It's very, very likely that a distributed attack from the students on your platform.
Well, they don't have internet as their parents, so who knows? Okay, so let's also talk a bit about the infrastructure and what I think it will require to develop such a thing. I think the requirements are quite low, so it can very easily be implemented after the whole package is set up. And I also think that the interface is quite friendly for the teacher. If he actually knows English and also he used one website, a browser before. So
you take in consideration sending an SMS with a summary of the grade, summary of the attendance, like a cron job that runs.
Actually, I've tried to avoid the SMS firstly, because I really like the text-to-speech feature, and I was trying to actually use it more and more. I've took in consideration the SMS, and it's actually
on the roadmap,
on the possible features. So as features, I think that the teacher also needs more.
Sorry. What, George? We've got live requests from students saying that they want to increase that to 10. Thank you guys for watching us.
Well, yeah.
Would that might be possible?
Yeah, it might be possible.
Thank you, John, for asking us.
Well, we can make it 100 if I look back in my childhood.
Maybe you can do the other way around in different neighborhoods. Maybe alert parents when actually children are attending school.
Yeah,
that might be the exception in some parts of the world. So, saying something happened. Your child just attended the first class of French.
Yeah.
Call assistant for teacher. What's that?
Call assistant for a teacher. Well, many parents, when they are provided a phone number from a teacher, they tend to abuse it. And for teachers, well, they have a problem with personal time and talking so much with parents. They also need their free time, their free space. So I was thinking that maybe when they intercept a call from a parent, an assistant should play on, and that call should be registered and mailed to the teacher. So
like a transcription of the call.
Exactly. So.
And it should be automatic or a person?
No, it should be automatic, and I'm thinking that the teacher can also provide himself a spam filter on those entries. So let's say that that parent has a really quite huge problem and he calls like 10 times at 1 in the morning. Well, I think you don't want notifications at that hour. Yes. Well, those are the features that came in my mind.
So there's one number that we can call it and find out what grades
yes.
Parisa had?
Yes.
Can you test it?
Well, actually, I want to avoid that part.
Okay. It's to do GDPR regulations. We don't want Parisa to be exposed. So.
I don't actually want to be killed by Parisa. Maybe she's watching the live stream and she sees that this thing works and.
But it's working. We trust your word.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So yeah, this was basically what I've tried and what I've implemented those days, and I guess if somebody likes this idea and wants to get it online, he can also.
I suggest to make a partnership with shoutout.io, and bonus the kids that have full attendance with a message from their preferred pop star. You can incentive them.
Justin Bieber will increase the attendance.
Right. So thank you very much, Cristi, for attending our Tadhack. Hope to see you next year again.
I also want to.
I want to see this in production and see how many schools in the United States you have joined in the program.
And if I'm still alive, or
if you're still alive,
yeah.
And tell me about your security challenges. Thank you. Take care.